Hello people of God, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Kennedy. If you're new here, hello, and if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back to the channel. You guys, we have made it to 1,000 subscribers. I'm so thankful for you guys. You guys don't understand. This is just amazing, so I'm so appreciative of each and every one of you guys. The next goal, we're gonna go ahead and get straight to the next goal. The next goal is 2,000 subscribers. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel if you haven't already, so you don't miss out on any faith-based or Christian-based content here on this channel. But yes, thank you guys so much. It means so much. So let's go ahead and get straight into the video. So I feel called that the Lord wants me to break down Esther more for his glory. So of course I'm going to be obedient and go ahead and break down Esther. So if you see some videos, I feel like he's going to call me to talk about the book of Esther. And I did have a chance to read it while I was fasting, because I think I told you guys in my Esther fast video, that the first one, that I didn't get a chance to read Esther all the way. So I did get a chance to read it while I was fasting. So I'm pretty familiar with everything now. So I'm gonna go ahead and get straight to the word. So I feel like God called me to Esther 4:14. You guys remember in that video, I was like, I feel like God is telling me to go to there, but that's when he called me to fast. So he pretty much gave me the clarity as far as what was going on in Esther chapter 4 verse 14. So I'm going to read it. It says, "For if you remain silent at this time, relief and deliverance for the Jews will arise from another place, but you and your father's family will perish. And who knows but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this." And I don't know if everyone's familiar with it, but that is a very highly used phrase, even outside of Christianity. For such a time as this is such a powerful phrase. So I believe he called me to now speak about it. He gave me the verse 2 weeks ago, and he gave me the revelation recently as far as what that means. So quick story before I actually break it down further. So as you guys may know, let me turn it down a little bit. As you guys may know, I did quit my job. I was working in corporate America, and I quit my job about a month and a half ago. And God called me to move back to my hometown. So I now live here, and he is calling me into full-time ministry. So that is where I'm at right now in life. And during this month and a half, it's been ups and downs as far as my emotions, how I feel about everything. And I've just been asking him to just keep me on this path, because I see the details, and God is all in the details. I see the details happening. It's just the bigger picture hasn't been where I would want it to be, but I know that this is God's plan. So with that being said, I did keep in touch with one of my ex-co-workers. He was the first person I told outside of my manager and my director that I was leaving. And I was telling her, she was just so unhappy with her position at the company. I told her that when I leave, I would like for her to take my position, because I thought she would be really good at it. Even though she didn't have an experience in my field, which is marketing, I told her she should still try it. So during this whole time, we've just kept in touch, and it's just been ups and downs about if she was going to get the position, how is it going to work, all of this. Well, just, what was it, like 2 days ago, she ended up actually getting the position. So that was amazing. Oh my goodness, my throat. So she ended up getting the position, and when I tell y'all, I was so happy for her, as if I got the position. It felt like I got a new job. And the Lord really brought me to that, because I could not understand why I was just so happy for her. I had been waiting, I was anticipating it, and I finally asked her, and she's like, I got it, because we were waiting. And I was just like, my heart was filled and so full for the rest of the night. I could not even sleep. I didn't go to sleep till 4 a.m. that night, because I was so happy for her, y'all. And that says a lot. And that was really a big shock for me, being so happy for someone, even when I would think that she would already get the position. But the Lord put it on my heart, and he brought it to my attention that this was all a part of the divine plan. Instantly, like as soon as all of this played out, I already knew this is a part of the divine plan. So once I realized that she was going to be in my position, that meant that I was now able to get confirmation that I'm in the position that I'm supposed to be in. Do y'all understand where I'm coming from? God placed me in that position. He moved me to Houston. He had me get a job there, because before that I was working for myself. I wasn't working for anyone. He had me working for the first time ever, working corporate, didn't even stay there a year. picked me up and moved me back to my hometown and orchestrated for me to go ahead and give someone else the position, not only to help my team that I was working with, but so that he could get the glory. And she's not a believer, so even as far as how she was like celebrating, I just broke down. I thank God. Thank you, God, because I knew that was God's plan, and this was all a part of my plan. He has now placed me in a position. So I was sort of losing faith, as if, is this ministry going to be able to provide a life for me outside of financially, to be honest with you? Am I going to be able to sustain my life that I had previously when I was working in corporate America, because I was making great money? Am I going to be able to sustain my lifestyle going into full-time ministry, right? So that was like my really, really big question. And I felt like God played and orchestrated, everything played out. He did not give this girl, y'all, I told them my 2 weeks was prior to my leave date. So technically they've been knowing I was going to leave for now 2 months. I put in my 2 weeks 2 months ago. So they did not give her this position until after I finished my fast. Now, I'm not going to say, honestly, I'm going to say it. This fast, I told y'all, was a silent fast, but it brought so much after the fast. It's the way things are playing out. It wasn't playing out like this before. So I say all this to say is that God really put it in my heart that he put me in that position to now put someone else in that position so that I could fulfill my next position. But it had to play out like that, and I had to see it to understand that I'm supposed to be in this position. Because the enemy is sending doubt and like, you know, should I have just stayed? Should I have just done these things? And I felt a joy that she got a position, because I now know that that position wasn't meant for me. This was supposed to happen. I'm supposed to be in the next position. So that encouraged me. So sometimes God will place someone else in a position that you thought was for you, to confirm to you that that was never for you. Because we all know what's for you is for you, and what's not for you is not for you. We all know that, right? As believers, we all believe that it works out for our greater good. It works out. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be, right? So knowing that everything played out how it's supposed to means that it's going to play out how it's supposed to for you, even if you haven't seen it yet. You know what I mean? And God really tests your heart posture, because he wanted to see that once she got that position, if I was going to feel envy, if I was going to feel some type of way. When I tell y'all, I felt so at peace at that moment. I said, oh my goodness, this is it. So with all that being said, guys, do not rely on what you see. Sometimes it looks like things are happening for everybody but you. But that does not mean that God has forgotten about you. That just means that it takes more to get you in a position, because y'all got to realize, when you give your life to Christ, he got to undo all of that stuff that you was doing. All of that stuff that you unknowingly and knowingly were doing, he got to undo it. So it's going to take him longer for you, because he got to sit there and put the pieces together. For the non-believers and for people in different parts of their journeys with God, it may take him a short amount of time, because guess what? Their journey is not your journey. And I love this quote, but I don't know it verbatim, but basically, to whom much is given, much is expected, or to much is given, much is expected, something along the lines of that. That is so true, y'all. I have to realize being called to ministry is a big thing. It's not going to just happen overnight because I want it to happen overnight, just because everything else happens overnight. This is something that is going to sustain. It's longevity. This is something that's outside of a job, outside of anything man can do. So it's not going to look like everything else. It's not going to look like how I expect it to look. It's not going to look like how you expect it to look. It's not going to look like how your family expected it to look. It's going to look exactly how it's going to look. And that's it. And you got to know deep down in your heart that God would never, never, ever do anything that is going to put you in a bad position, or he's never going to do anything that is not good for you. So whatever you're going through, whatever you're dealing with, is going to play out. He puts people in position so that you can get to your position. So he lines men up so that when it's your time, you can look back and say, oh, that's why this happened. That's why this person had to be here. That's why that. Look, think about you looking for your future partner. God may be moving. Your future partner may right now live in a whole different state or a whole different country. God has to maneuver that person inside of their will for being disobedient. He has to try to move that person. From our perspective, like, why is it's not happening for me? You don't know what God doing in the background. And then when you finally see it, you, in hindsight, you're like, oh my goodness. A year ago today, when I was sitting there thinking about, when am I going to get married? When am I going to meet my person? that person was actually probably moving closer to me so that we can meet at the grocery store, we can meet at church, or we can do. So you got to understand that every step, you can't be microscopic of it. You can't overthink every step that God is placing in your life. You just have to look at the little details of what he's doing, that he's putting you in position to receive. Understand that. Another thing is too, especially within a job, if God is giving somebody else something, that's not yours. We cannot be, and it's a word called covet. We cannot be covet. That means you look at something that somebody else has that you don't have, and you pretty much idolize it. So if you have your coworker and they're getting a promotion but you're not getting a promotion, don't look at it like you're not getting a promotion. That promotion is not for you. That's not for you, and it's nothing to be jealous about, because everything that's for you is for you. Realize that everything that is for you will be for you. It will be easy. It won't be hard. It won't feel like it's going to take so much, because guess what? Anything you attain outside of God's will for your life, you have to maintain outside of his will. So anything you receive, anything you do outside of God, you have to maintain outside of God. So just be obedient. Don't go looking for a job and he called you to be an entrepreneur. Don't be going to go date and he tells you that he's going to send a man for you when he sends the man for you. Don't be moving somewhere and he told you, no, don't move there, move here, or stay where you're at. That's why a lot of the times we're holding ourselves back, because we are thinking for ourselves instead of letting God make our moves. This is chess. God is in control of everything. So I need y'all to take away from that. Be obedient and understand that every single thing is working out for you, whether you see it or not. Everything is working out for you. Every piece of the puzzle has to be put together in order for that puzzle to be a beautiful picture. If you're even missing just one piece, is it a completed puzzle? Is it finished? No. So understand that God has to use the details. He can't just make it, though he can, he won't. That's the thing. He won't make it happen overnight, because he has to shift you and shift everything else so that everything can play out how it's supposed to, okay? I love you, people of God, and most importantly, God loves you. I will see y'all in my next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you really enjoyed this video, please make sure you leave a thumbs up and leave a comment down below if you want to see some more Christian or faith-based content here on this channel. See y'all later, y'all. Bye.